Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, Okada, Zack Sabre Jr. Last year, Danielson announced that 2024 would be his last year as a full-time wrestler and would go on a final odyssey to wrestle the absolute best before retiring. Being champion throughout his career, he was yet to win a championship in AEW, the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And with the likes of Will Ospreay outperforming Bryan, and with the rise of Swerve Strickland becoming champion, everything was stacked against Bryan. And with his career on the line, it truly felt like the final countdown. But when he eventually won the AEW World Championship at All In, he would promise that he would defend the championship until he loses it and retires. And it took one of the biggest betrayals from Jon Moxley and his faction of the Blackpool Combat Club turning on him. When I was watching Wrestle Dream, which was on my birthday by the way, I was expecting Bryan to come out on top and continue his run as champion and continue to have many more dream matches. But he lost to Jon Moxley only 1 month as champion, and it was legitimately heartbreaking to see one of the very first wrestlers I've ever watched not just lose so early in his run, but to never wrestle ever again full time. This would then change the landscape of AEW, where everyone is literally pulling up to fight against Jon Moxley's new destructive philosophy, where the young talent and potential leading faces of AEW follow in the footsteps of the legacy that Bryan has paved, making Bryan's retirement not only necessary, but making him immortal. Bryan Danielson may be gone full time, but his spirit lives on amongst those who fight for AEW. His character, his passion, his achievements, not just in AEW, but throughout his career, will regard him as one of the very best to ever do it. From the Indies, to WWE, to AEW. Roman Reigns might have power, John Cena might have strength, Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay might have taken wrestling to a whole new level, but Bryan Danielson had heart. He was believable, he was pure, he was pro wrestling. Thank you, Bryan. Liverpool, Bayern Munich, PSG, Real Madrid. As a Barcelona fan, it has not been easy, even when Messi was still with us. But with Xavi's foundation and Hansi Flick's revolution, we have returned. For the first few games of the season, we were winning normally with 2-1s and, the usual scores you would see from Barcelona. But I remember waking up on September 1 and seeing Barcelona beat Valladolid by 7 freaking goals to nil and absolutely lost my shit. The fact that Barcelona have scored that much under Hansi Flick immediately after just a few games into the season made me realize that Barcelona have actually been cooking something special. And with October being the biggest test for this new and scary Barcelona, people were still doubtful and rooting for our downfall. And what did Barcelona do? Destroy both Bayern Munich 4-1 and Real Madrid 4-0, our biggest rivals, in less than 1 week. Speak now, speak now. With our classic tiki-taka possession alongside Hansi Flick's revolutionary style of constantly attacking football, as well as having the high line to catch everyone offside, not only is our attack relentless, but our defense is virtually impossible to break through almost every time. Mix that with homegrown La Masia talent who earn and play for the badge, and hungry and highly motivated star players such as Rafinha, Lewandowski, who is somehow the best striker outside his prime still, and of course, the star boy, the 17-year-old wonder, Lamine Yamal, who can lead Barca to a brighter and better era. Led by Hansi Flick's discipline and philosophy, we are so truly back. Back then, I would watch Barcelona just for Messi, but now that he's gone, I've come to realize what more than a club truly meant. And we didn't need money signings or popular stars to get us to winning championships, but a team, a family, a force to be reckoned with, is what makes me appreciate Barcelona even more now. Players like Peña, Martinez, Kubarsi, Fermin Lopez, Marc Casado, Balde, Koundé, Pedri, Gavi, Olmo, Louis, Yamal, and Rafinha have all made me appreciate Barcelona as a whole. And I am so glad that I get to root and appreciate every single one of them instead of just one. Sometimes, the most beautiful football has to go through everything, just so people can see it for what it is. Art, teamwork, commitment, true football. Forza Barça, Vanguard, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. These Call of Duty games in the Warzone era have not been up to par with the greats of the classics. But now, you may be back in black with Black Ops 6. With a linear campaign story set in the 90s with Woods and Adler returning, with new characters such as Troy Marshall and Case fighting against their own due to the Pantheon compromising the CIA, every mission literally feels like a different video game, ranging from a James Bond thriller to a Resident Evil horror game. And this is by far the longest campaign I've ever played, because I remember playing Most Wanted and it took me 3 hours to play. We got zombies returning to form, putting an emphasis on round-based progression, being back while improving on the new systems and mechanics from Cold War. I did not expect zombies to be this difficult, because I could only go past round 10 in both maps, not just Terminus but also Liberty Falls in the first few days. It was crazy. And multiplayer, though not perfect, introducing Omni movement, changing how the game can be played in all modes, which is surprisingly fun and implemented very well, since I get to pop off and engage confights differently now. Yeah, there's skill-based matchmaking still, but you know, it is what it is. But added with possibly the most amount of rewards to be earned, whether it be mastery camos, classic prestige skins, and Easter eggs from campaign and zombies. Treyarch has not only made a solid Call of Duty in recent years, but they have also made a tribute, a love letter, with all the references, the themes, bro, the music, movement, and amount of quality content that can be enjoyed by Black Ops fans and Call of Duty players alike. It doesn't have to be for everyone, and it may never be like the CODs from the Golden Age. But this is a statement from Treyarch that Call of Duty can never die. The truth lies. By the way, the replacer was absolutely goated and hilarious, dude. Like, oh my god, the amount of marketing. Trick-or-treating, chocolates, candy, costumes, the Halloween season. Though Halloween is not what it used to be, with trick-or-treating, or its aura overall, the fact that my country celebrates Christmas a month before October, I swear, it's still my favorite season for a reason. In my country, trick-or-treating is not present everywhere. Usually malls, parties, or higher class villages are where you can see people in costumes. But there are many ways for me to enjoy the Halloween season even without the Halloween season. There's watching horror movies or horror content online. VHS Beyond was a fun sci-fi themed horror anthology to watch, as VHS is my favorite horror movie franchise. Terrifier, I watched Terrifier for the first time, and I absolutely love Art the Clown and how he presents himself. The fact that he's both silent and has a lot of personality, and he's also funny as well. And you know, there are many YouTube video essays and horror TikToks and content creators showing off their own costumes that make Halloween, you know, still present nowadays. There's also cosplaying, and in my country, we don't even have to cosplay during Halloween since there are multiple cosplay events throughout the year. And I always enjoy going to conventions and cosplaying, as it always reminds me of how fun and festive Halloween has always been. So, has Halloween been less celebrated compared to before? Sure, but is it dead? Hell no. Happy Halloween! Hope that everyone enjoyed the video and their October overall. As a Barcelona fan, this was the best October ever. And seeing one of my childhood heroes in Bryan Danielson retiring was bittersweet. And hopefully as we get into the Christmas season, we continue our winter arc and pull through November and December as we end 2024 on a bang. But as of now, this has been my October. See you.